don't do things where the internet marketing space is going to tell you to do things a certain way. Do what feels right for you and build it and make it grow. And that's the thing. And the key thing here is figure out what you're really good at, build a business around that, add value to that. All right, well, welcome back to another Daily Rev. I hope you are well. And inside of this video, I want to share with you what it's like to start from the bottom. Like literally starting from the ground up. I've received a lot of messages over the last couple of days regarding reinventing myself in 2021, why I left business coaching. And I'll do another video on business coaching, my lessons, my thoughts, and how business coaching and coaching in general, how that aged me, probably 20 years. So, I'm going to give my 30s to 40s a good run to rejuvenate myself, get rid of all the gray hairs, get rid of the wrinkles, get my Asian genes back. It's really, eye-opening to see how many people sacrifice their health, their family, life in general to go out there to pursue something, business. And I was one of those people. And inside of this video, I want to share with you what it's like to start from the ground up, what it's like to build businesses, not coach, not teach, not educate on it, but actually go back to the practical applications. And I'm super proud. I really have to go back to my years earlier on, having a personal training company. We managed, 2012, like 9 years ago. We managed 6 apartments, had over 20 personal trainers around in each of those apartments and managed those, and we were able to get the contracts. I had a Pilates and yoga studio. I had a digital marketing agency back in the early days. This was 2014. It was called The Growing Dentist, working with 92 different dentists around Australia. I had a supplement company. I had a lot of little things going on. And really, business coaching for me started in 2016 after speaking at one of my good friends' events. From then, it became a thing where people started to come and talk to me. There was never an intention to go inside of the coaching space. People and trainers wanted to do what I was doing, and then it became a thing. And here we are inside of 2021. 2020, I left it, I shut it down. It was just too demanding, too heavy, and I'll do another video on that. But inside of today, I want to share with you what it's like to start from the bottom, because moving from a $3.5 million business down to zero was definitely quite a humbling experience. What I mean by humbling is that you see a different perspective right up at the very top. And it's easy for me to tell people, hey, you just got to do this, you got to do that. It's really easy because you're comfortable. It's quite a comfortable place to be, and it's quite an easy place to be because you don't have the worries that you have right at the very start. When you're starting out, and I was speaking to my wife Kerry about this, and she wants to start this whole modern mama movement, which I think is an incredible movement with supplements and health and rejuvenation and creating modern day mamas. I said, Kerry, at the very start, you have to imagine it's kind of like Ocean, our little 18-month-old, who's a little infant who doesn't have a lot of energy. Like, you need to constantly feed her. She needs to constantly sleep. You need to constantly nurture her. She can't do a lot of things on her own yet. She's at the very start at the stage. And that requires a lot of focus. It requires a lot of attention. And it requires doing a lot of the right things. Now, how it costs a lot of money and how people waste money right at the very start is, and how you can reduce the risk of business, of going bankrupt, losing money, is by increasing your skill sets. The better you get at certain things inside a business right at the start, the better you get at writing ads, getting attention, creating communities, knowing how to sell. These are skill sets. You'll reduce your risk of failure. Okay, so there's things that you and I can do, and there's things that I've done that have improved these skill sets over time. So I'm starting from a better place in terms of my skill sets, because that allows me to move faster, it allows me to reduce risk, it allows me to lower the chances of failure, but there's still a chance of failure. Just moving from this place where we're up here doing $3.5 million a year to back down to zero, back down from scratch, from nothing. I wanted to share not only the journey, but the thought processes, the things, the questions around what should I do? What could I do? There's about 1 million things that I could do. And I want to share the thought process and what I did, because if you're currently experiencing this, and I'm sure some of you messaged me, had a great conversation with people inside of my Facebook Messenger, etc., telling me, hey, really helped me, gave me ideas. I just want to give you permission. I want to give you permission to do you. Don't do things where the internet marketing space is going to tell you to do things a certain way. Do what feels right for you and build it and make it grow. And that's the thing. And the key thing here is figure out what you're really good at, build a business around that, add value to that. And I want to share with you my thought process. I don't have my iPad. I usually type on an iPad. So we're going to have to go to use Lucid Charts. And I want to kind of break this down for you. I'm going to zoom in and give you a better view of this. A couple of things here. I start out with, well, what is Lynn really good at? And what are my skills? What are my passions? What are the things that, I can do really, really well? The first thing is I think about this, and I think about how much ads I've been able to write. So writing ads is the first one. What are the other things that Lynn is good at? And this is a really good exercise that I would recommend that you do for yourself as well. Like, what are you really good at? What are you passionate about? What are you knowledgeable about? What are the skills that you have that you can turn into necessarily a service-based business? Like, you can actually just talk to somebody and somebody will pay you to actually do this. This is, for a personal trainer, it's easy. Like, you get paid to train somebody. You get paid to write plans for somebody. You get paid to sit down to talk to people and help them navigate through their problems. You're a nutrition coach. You get paid to, create plans, write calories, sit down with them, overcome their obstacles, etc., etc. So, inside of the things that I'm quite good at, I start to just go, I like doing this. I can sell. I've been really good with sales. I genuinely have to say that I think sales is just talking shit and just promising and just being able to go, hey, you know what? We can do this. We can look after you. Let's go and do this. I got you sorted. Like, at the end of the day, that's what sales is. It's being able to talk to the other person, being able to get them and go, hey, dude, like, we got you sorted. Leave this to me. On the other hand, being able to over deliver, that's a different set of skill sets. And we'll go into that, I'm sure, sometime later down the track. Okay, so we're going to get into this. Writing ads, selling, I can actually craft funnels and offers. And what this is, how do we build funnels? How do we sell stuff online? How do we create a web page, write stuff down, communicate stuff down? I can write copy, right? Like, all of these things. I can go back to my fitness days and I can do like fitness training programs. And I wrote down a list of everything that I could do. I could actually do well. I could teach people how to hire people and run a virtual team. I could do payroll and teach people about basic tax after going through that experience myself. Like, these are skills that I've actually had to learn on how to run and operate a business and how to hire people, how to run a virtual company. All of these things, accumulation of my experience, right? So when you're doing this for yourself, I want you to think about what are all the skills that you have. And I know, like, sometimes you might sit there and go, I have no skills. Like, you're probably looking at this and going, wow, like, immediately inside of your mind, and this happened to me too, like, for real, you go, I don't know anything. And the skills are, I just take good photos. Like, I really, like, my Instagram photos are fucking amazing. Like, do that. I take great videos. I've got a podcast. It doesn't have to be some grand big skill, but somebody will pay for that, right? Somebody will pay for you to actually just take care of their photos or the Instagram, manage that account or something. Let's just start with this, because as soon as you get inside of your mind and you go, wow, it's not big enough to make this big business that I need to make, because everybody that I know and everybody online is making $5 million a month, and that's the target. We got to get to the next big award, and so I need this big idea. Then you just use that. I want you to understand this basic principle that there are so many boring companies out there that are surviving. There's so many boring companies that you're just like, man, you sell pens, you do accounting. Like, accounting's the most boringest of the boringest of all. Oh, I didn't even add one other thing. Like, I've got a physio degree, right? Like, I could go back and do physio. So anyway, I just write down all my skills. And then what I started to do here is I started to just rank them. What would I want to do first? Would I want to go out and sell for another company? Not really. Like, I don't want to go out and sell for another person and get commission on that. Do I want to build a training company around sales? Not really. I could do that, but that's a little bit lame. I'm not going to focus on building another training and coaching company, not for some time until like, this is it. Until I get to like 60 and I feel like I should write a memoir. And it's something I feel, and this is my personal opinion, that coaching and mentoring should be something that you give back out of generosity, not something that is your main core business. It's not the thing that, I look at people like Warren Buffett and all these amazing people that are doing stuff. They don't start off, Warren Buffett doesn't start an investment club and grows that to be bigger than the $1 billion he has. Like, he's got no intention. Why? Because it's just not worth his time at the moment. And something that I've just sat with for a while, and it's something that 2020 I was able to listen. Okay, so let's get back into this. So we move on to writing ads, crafting offers. And for me, it was really, really basic. Started to logically put this inside of my sequence. And I was starting to go, okay, well, the very first thing that somebody needs to start a business is actually they need to create a product and be able to sell it. Like they need to be able to understand that and to be able to create a place online to sell it. And what a funnel is, essentially, if I break this down for you, a funnel is essentially a web page that has writing on it that introduces, it says, hey, these are some really cool headphones. Here are the features and benefits of these headphones. Here's how much the headphones cost. Here's why it's really cool. Here are all the people that use these headphones. And here's the guarantee on these headphones. And here's why you should buy these headphones today. And if you want to sell these headphones, then you need a sales page. And that's what it is, right? So I started to look at this and I go, okay, well, logically, this makes sense. You don't run ads, or you don't get attention, or you don't build communities or anything like that without having one of these, because this is the core principle, sales pages. And so we started off with this. I saw this as extremely, extremely important, right? And so this is what became Funnel Brothers. And if you look on Instagram right now, right? If you look on Instagram right now, well, you just don't have a lot of followers, zero. And then I said, well, what happens next when you have a page? What happens next when you have a sales page up and running? And the next thing that you need to do is obviously we'll get traffic, get attention. And that's when writing ads in, and that's where categoricing with advertising comes in, to be able to go, hey, how do we actually drive traffic and drive attention? And we'll start to begin to, and all of these ideas came flooding in, because one thing leads after another. But what I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to create stuff or company that's an all-in-one. Right now, when I'm going into this, I'm thinking about how do we break this down? How do we make this one thing at a time and create little companies, right? So with Funnel Brothers, if you have a look at this, it's really simple. I want to pull it up for you guys. And then I'm going to pull up Funnel Brothers so that you can see. I was like, cool, we're going to create this little avatar. It's going to be this little guy. Funnily enough, he looks like me, right? This guy. And we build funnels, and that's it. And it's a company based on building funnels. And so it becomes really simple, because we go, what's the product? The product is us selling in funnels. This is ads. What's the product? We use ads. Really, really simple. And so the thought process behind this with Funnel Bros, if I'm starting again from the ground up, there's a couple of things that I need to do. Well, first, practically, we need clients through the door. Like this is the most craziest thing that I want to share with you. I think this is so important that you understand this concept. Being able to understand that you need clients through the door. That's the practical game. When you're starting from zero and you have bills to pay, you need clients. Okay, so there needs to be a strategy that, in my mind, when I'm thinking through this, there needs to be a strategy to be able to get clients. The second thing is, well, getting clients is one thing and making that great sale is another thing, but how do we actually begin to build brand? The long-term vision for this is to build the business into an asset that is able to grow, that's able to become the best inside of its space. How do we build this company? How do we build this Funnel Bros to become the best inside of its space, where it's got great reputation, where it's got great brand, where we might then be able to move out from funnels, sales pages, look at web design, look at modern day apps, look at all these things that can then branch into its own thing. We launch the software behind this, but I'm not even thinking about that. Okay, branding is something, the longest term game is branding. And it's stuff like building a reputation. It's stuff like showcasing ourselves at events. It's stuff like being affiliated with everybody in the industry, right? So there's two strategies that I'm going to go into here. So there's we call this the direct response, right? This is kind of the make money now to survive, because we need money in the door, because it's a business and we got mouths to feed. And obviously, if you don't have money, you can't hire people, you can't expand, you can't grow. Okay, so this is really, really simple. The ad and how I start to look at this is, even though funnels is quite niched in itself and sales page is quite niche, I start to look at all the different types of people that need funnels. I start to go, okay, well, course creators need funnels. Authors, if they want anybody that wants to sell any of anything. And I start to go, okay, what are the agencies? They need funnels. Consultants, they need funnels. And then basically what I do is I write an ad to each and every single one of them, right? We write an ad and we go, hey, we're looking for 10 course creators who want to sell more courses, who want to upgrade their funnel. If that's you, click on the link down below, apply now, fill out this form, or get a quote, right? And it allows us to get a flood of people, and it allows us to validate the market. So it's a simple ad, and it's a Facebook ad. It goes to a landing page, and it's, hey, I'm looking for 10 course creators who want to make more sales by upgrading their funnels by using this process. We have a process inside of the Funnel Brothers that can help you make more sales. And then the crazy part is this. This is where the product comes in. Like, it's one thing to be able to say all that shit. It's another thing to be able to say, hey, like, if we don't deliver on our promise, you don't pay. It's 100% guarantee. Like, the end. And I think that's really powerful for any business, any service. Like, the fact that you can actually put that makes me think twice, 3 times, 4 times about how we deliver our service, how we're communicating that the customer this time is correct right now. And the reasons why I say this is because we're starting from the bottom. The customer is correct. We don't get to be picky and choosy because we're starting right at the bottom. We have not built brand, right? So we start to go with direct response. This is an ad. Run it on Facebook. Run it to the sales page and get this up and running. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to show you. The second idea is how do we begin to then build brand? Because at the same time, this is all nice. But going out there to beg for business, going out there to say, hey, we're looking for people. Come work with us. We're new. We're new kids on the block. Nobody knows who we are. The second thing is actually building brand. And building brand is a couple of things. Building brand, like you can have your own brand on the Funnel Bros. I like the Funnel Bros, by the way. Let me know what you think about it. It kind of brings back, like I said, my youth, which is the whole intention behind this. The first thing is building the Instagram brand, building their pages, and I've got a lot of opinions on that, and I've never done this before, but it's expanded my mind. The second thing, and the second process to building brand is actually going in and looking at, the brand associate. Who are you affiliated with? Who are the top people in each industry that you want to get in the good books with? Russell Brunson, good dude, does ClickFunnels, talks about the Dream 100 strategy. If I could have these people recommending me, who would they be? And how would that help grow the business, the brand? And these are kind of 2 strategies that we go on. We go on our personal brand and we go on our network. And this is really important for you when you're trying to build a service-based industry, something where you offer a service, you do something for somebody. Who's recommending you in the industry? How do you begin to network? And so a couple of ideas that I looked at here is introducing them and getting them on the Category King podcast. How did they become the Category King inside of the industry? And then being able to say, hey, we do funnels. We'd love to help do yours for free and upgrade yours. And if you love it, we just want to help out. Your funnels are great. We can make this better. Because a lot of people, believe it or not, nowadays online, because page builders and all of that stuff is so accessible, right? A lot of people, it's so quick. You can put up a page within 35 minutes. A lot of people just create a lot of shit. It's tacky, it's shit. But a lot of these people are quite big. They've been on Oprah and they've got huge amount of audiences. They've got a huge amount of people searching them up every single day on Google. And if they look like shit, that's when conversions drop. So we start to look at branding and how do we actually get the story, the narrative across inside of Funnel Bros. And that's kind of our formula. We kind of mix how do we do the converting stuff with the branding stuff to actually make you look good and help you get more people through the door, get more bookings, get more applications, make more sales, etc., right? So here is quite easy. And so what you can start to see, especially on our Instagram account here, is that my team, specifically every single day, a training. I do this because I go, hey, I want you to go and look at all these people that we have in our Dream 100 and I want you to just recreate their brand, right? Recreate their brand. And this is free, like nothing at all. Like we're purely operating on this. And this is a brilliant strategy for one of 2 things. And number one, I, as the CEO, I get to train my team. So I get to go, hey, recreate this, send it to them. We send it to them. We go, hey, we hope you enjoyed our brand upgrade. Love to work with you. We'd love to collaborate somehow and just start getting a conversation. And this gets through the door. So being able to deliver something like this every single day, let me show you the rhythm and the cadence and the speed. And then, I might even talk about hiring and finding great people, managing people in another show. Okay, but so let me show you all of our Dream 100 outreaches. So I've got a spreadsheet here. I've got all the people that we have. And I have my team design. And I look at this as operational excellence. Like I look at this as, okay, if you're a coach, what should you be doing? Or what should your whole entire, if you're a coach and you offer that as a service, you should be coaching. If you're a copywriter, you should be writing. If you're a designer, you should be designing. Like it's just in the name, it's in the identity. If I'm a runner, I should run. If I'm a weightlifter, I should be lifting weights. for my team here, they're designers and they're brand artists. They should be creating brands. And allows my team to build this operational excellence because every single day they need to hit one target a day, right? Gives them one target, complete that brand. And then what I can actually do is I can look at this and help them improve that process over time. And then this is where the training and the coaching comes in. This is where I can come in and say, hey, I don't think you've nailed it here. I think you can do this better. Here it is. And that's how you build operational excellence. Now, this is good for two perspectives because on one perspective, well, the first thing is not only do we actually get to deliver value, like real value. Like somebody like Peng's going to watch this and go, oh man, this is really, really cool. I love this. I would love to do an upgrade in 2021. This is what I'm doing. Legitimate, right? When I talk about real value, I think the craziest thing inside of the internet space is people think value is trainings and webinars, but it's not because it's so saturated inside of the marketplace. People are paying less attention to it. So real value is being able to offer personalization. Real value is being able to just help somebody, get somebody quicker in the shortest amount of time. How do we do this? And if you're doing something, you build that experience first. And so one of the things that we're doing here is Funnel Bros. The other thing is when I think about the Funnel Bros Instagram account and the brand account, I think about this in two ways. I think about this as how do I build a community, right? Because the hardest part is getting attention. And how do I build our actual portfolio? Okay, so we've got two Funnel Bros accounts. One to build community. Why this is important is because this is going to get all the organic reach. Okay, and one for the portfolio. So we've got, this is called for the portfolio, I believe it's called Work with the Funnel Bros. And this is where we put all of our work. Okay, all of our work, any of the mock-ups that we've done, any of the Dream 100, any of our client, we just put it up here because if you're interested in working with us, you can just go to our portfolio, you can see it. It's fantastic, right? But another strategy is going, okay, but this isn't going to grow. Like the portfolio isn't going to grow. Unfortunately, Lynn, even though our designs, like this became a great smack in the face, even though our designs are absolutely amazing and it's fantastic, it's not going to grow because it's all about me. Right? It's all about outcome. It's all about what we create. And people, if you know people only care about themselves. People only care about how do I follow this person so I get value. And so when we look at organic growth and we look at organic branding, I needed to build another page to build this community first. And this guy is the community around This is all about sales tips, sales pages, copywriting, who's doing what, what's doing where. And this is going to be a page specifically that's going to drive growth inside of Instagram. As you can start to see, like we're going to give tips around sales pages. We're going to read books and we're going to post tips on there and quotes. And this is actually going to get the audience to come over to us. And there's no selling on this page. It's all about the community. It's all about getting people. And we'll sell with the ads, the retargeting to this community. We'll sell with the Instagram stories because that's where you should be selling and go, hey, if you'd like to work with us, or hey, check out this new portfolio that we did, head on over to this page, Work with the Funnel Bros. Okay, and I'll dive deeper inside of that strategy. I'll give you more examples as we begin to build it out. But I've got the team to start thinking about this, and I've got myself to start wireframing this whole entire process out. Okay, so this is it. And so this is kind of the first step that we take, right? So I start with Lynn, I start with the skills. We then enter Funnel Bros. It's known for the one thing. We build sales pages, the end. I then start to move to the most applicable way. Who am I going to first? How do I have the practical application of making money now? This goes here. This goes into a funnel. Call them up, talk to them, have a chat, see what we can do, and scope from there. We then move on to brand, because brand is how do we stop reaching out to people? How do we get people to reach to us? How do we get people to come to us? So there's two forms of brand. Number one, affiliation. Okay, that we're focusing on. These are two strategies, Dream 100. The other one is actually building personal brand for the Funnel Bros, or company brand, I should say. You can't build company brand on the portfolio itself. You've got to build company brand through communities. Okay, so once this process is out, this is really over the next month what my focus is to get this engine started, right? So it's repetition. It's time and time again. How do I grow this community? And how do we look at the direct response ads with the numbers and the marketing? How do we change it to make it work? How do we speak to people so we figure out what they want? How do we create a market fit? It's really, really important at the very start of any business that you're willing to actually speak to people to see what's a market fit for them. Okay, the most humbling experience from moving from 3.5 million from coaching down to this is that I'm now speaking to people back on the phones again, figuring out what the market fit is. Okay, so my intention here is to be able to share with you the thought process behind this. So again, all of this is theory, but you can actually just follow along the journey. Now you know what's happening. You start to see it play out in Facebook and Instagram, and if you see your ads, you start to go, oh, that's what they're doing. And it's just repetition. It's excellence. It's about building a cadence of excellence and habits around this to execute on this plan. Okay, and we'll take this and we'll apply it inside of any industry as well. Once again, writing ads, we can do the same thing. We can set up this, we can do brand, top industry, an ad Instagram that gives all the tips around latest 2021 ads that drive to our portfolio of scaling ads. Same thing with this. Now I can then go into payroll and tax. I can then go into hiring and training company where we help you recruit people, right? So I wanted to share with you an in-depth thought process on this. And really, if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment on what you found the most useful. Leave a comment if you would add anything else that's different. Like, what would you do differently? And really give, I hope this gives you permission to do what you love, reinvent yourself. If business is the only thing that you get to worry about 24/7, right? Like if you're going to go out there and be a warrior and open your own business, at least do something that you love, because that really is the biggest thing that you're going to get out of it from the start. With that being said, have a phenomenal day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let me know what you took away from this. We'll see you on the next episode. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you later.